Very scalable applications in the field of finance, real estate, and e-commerce. Thank you. Is it on? You all are working internet connection, right? Because they would need internet connection for some of the program that we run. Okay. Please feature from RT.
My system Wi-Fi will not connect anymore.
Wi-Fi I can try.
Should we start? Okay. So, hello everyone. My name is Sumit, and I work as a principal consultant at Logic. So it's LODGIQ, but we pronounce it as Logic. Basically, my company is into revenue analytics space, mostly lodging. That is, lodge is for lodging. We build a product to maximize the revenue for hotels. So there are lots of NLP and machine learning also being used, but I'm not a machine learning expert, but mainly I handle the backend parts of the product. So just a brief about revenue analytics or revenue management is, say if you go to Amazon.in and if you look for umbrella, and there is a forecast that there's going to be heavy rain in Bangalore for in next 3 to 4 days. Then what Amazon will do it, they'll increase the price of umbrella, because if it rains, you would need it, you would buy it, right? So no matter if it is 100 rupees is normal price, if they sell you at 110 or 120, you'll buy it. So that's how company do the dynamic pricing to maximize their revenue. So Amazon does it. I don't know if Flipkart does it. So we have built a product that it does for hotels, hotel pricing. So that was about it. So in this session, we'll understand the basics of natural language processing, how is it used, and how we can implement is leverage the power of NLP to build applications. So we'll go through the basic introduction and then history and applications. I'll tell you the history briefly because that is important given the research that was gone through NLP, and then the application. Application beforehand, because you should know that what you can build using NLP. Then we'll go through the methods of NLP. Those are the standard methods in NLP that you'll find anywhere. So in this session, we'll use NLTK. That is the most popular library in Python, but there are others in Java and other languages as well. So then logical semantics. That is quite interesting. You'll actually implement a program wherein you'll try to process a natural language and convert into code or machine understandable code. Then in the second part, actually I have like 2 slots for 1.5 hours. So the second part will be post lunch. That is quite interesting. So I'll keep that for now. I mean, if you can make out something from the title, then you can. Okay. So the first question that comes to our mind is what is natural language processing? So it's nothing but computer-aided text analysis of natural language. So say I'm speaking to you, I'm talking about something, you're able to understand because you can process it, your mind can process it. Same thing, computers, in order to computers, if they can do it, they need to have some methods so that they can process the natural language, be it voice or be it text, right? So natural language processing helps us to do that. So the goal is to enable machine to understand human language and extract meaning out of it. So it is said it's a field of study which falls under the category of machine learning and more specifically computational linguistics. So in order to do machine learning, more advanced NLP, one has to be an expert in languages, right? If you're trying to convert English to German, you should know both English and German, because that's how you can understand it, right? Now, the brief history of NLP is like in 1948, the first NLP application that was built was a dictionary lookup system. So it was like, say, you have a word called food. Now you want to convert that to another language, say Hindi. So that's khana, right? So it just went to look the dictionary and get the Hindi meaning of food. That was developed in 1948. Then 1949, American Interest published an article wherein there was a guy called Warren Weaver. He was a World War II code breaker. He viewed German as English in code. So what happened is after World War II, there were so many technical documents that were left over. Those were in Germans. So what he came up with an idea saying that if we could write a program that could convert German into English, then like you won't need a German guy to understand the technical papers, right? You can convert German to English and then you can make use of it. But that was not so much successful, given technical documents have like technical words, and NLP was not so successful. That's why till 1966 it says overpromised, underdelivered. There was so much of funding happening, like over $20 million were spent in research of NLP, but machine translation only worked word by word. Obviously that won't work always. So NLP gave AI a bad name before AI had a name. So that's quite interesting, because people were expecting a lot from NLP given the funding that was there, given the research that was happening. But it's not very easy to do conversion or using machine translation. Now I'll come directly to the application part. So obviously you can convert, do the conversion of natural language to computer language, and then vice versa. Now, translation from one human language to another language, Google Translate, I think you all have used. Now, automatic checking for grammars and writing techniques. So, you must have used Microsoft Word or any other document wherein it underlines with a red mark if the spelling is wrong. Now, spam filtering, Gmail does it on daily basis. We'll actually go through a program to build a spam filter, and we'll see how it works. Then is questioning answering system. This is quite interesting. There's a company called Haptic, if you have heard of it. They have like a chat application where you can say book a movie for 2 today at Meenakshi Mall. Now the bot will be able to understand that you're asking to book a movie for 2 people at Meenakshi Mall. Now it understood this, and now it will ask you which movie do you want to see, what time. Now you'll reply accordingly, and then it will try to understand and then book a movie for you. So there are many applications which falls under the category of questioning answering systems. Sentiment analysis, obviously many people are doing sentiment analysis to find, if you go to a Flipkart's product, there are like 5,000 reviews. You cannot go through them one by one. So what you do is you do a sentiment analysis using NLP and get a feel that whether this product is like people are happy about it or people are angry about it. Fraud detection, that is done like banks mainly, or even corporate. Corporate usually give their logs to different companies to find out which person might be doing some mischievous thing, or which person, like Infosys recently, they are applying machine learning to find out which all employees can leave, which all employees can are looking for a job switch. Right? So that we can do easily using NLP. If you're visiting LinkedIn or if you're visiting job search websites, then definitely, and there's a pattern, right? You're not looking for last 3 months, now you suddenly started looking. So it means that you may leave the company. Mainly in web technologies, natural language processing is heavily used. Search engines, most of the search engine uses natural language processing. So if you hit any query in Google, if the query text is found in the domain name, right, that comes first. So the ranking algorithm takes care of that. If the query is in domain name or in the meta tags, it comes first. That's what site recommendations are. Spam filtering will see knowledge bases and expert systems. Bank fraud detection, as I told you, it tries to find out the pattern given the huge text. Automated customer support system. This is quite interesting. Actually, there's a hackathon going to happen. So we are thinking to build this. So you go to any website and then you have, or you call any customer care, you have to wait for like 3 to 4 minutes. You can easily build a system using NLP and machine learning, which can answer basic queries of customers. Right? Like if you talk about say telecommunication, you say what is my account balance, or what were my last 3 transactions, what was my last recharge. You can easily use these queries to answer customers' question. Yeah, so this is quite interesting in NLP and quite hard also to find out the context. So little sister says, "What's your name?" I say, "Sumit." She says, "Can you spell it?" I say, "Yes, SUMIT." She says, "Wrong, spelled IT." Right? So you see how quickly the context changed just within a line of conversation. She just she asked my name. I said Sumit. Then she changed the context. She's asking me now to spell it. Now this is quite difficult to understand in NLP. This is quite a challenge till now. So you'll face so much of this when you are trying to build an application on top of NLP. Now ambiguity. Read out the sentence. See, I shot the man with ice cream. Now, somebody can interpret it like a man with ice cream was shot. A man was holding an ice cream and he was shot, maybe with a gun. A man had ice cream shot at him. Right? If you look at the picture, a man had an ice cream shot at him. So both are syntactically and grammatically correct. But how would machine know how to which one you meant? Right? So this is quite challenging in NLP. We always face such problem like sarcasm or slang. Right? Those are still a challenge in NLP. All good? So we come to the methods that like standard methods in NLP. So POS tagging is called parts of speech tagging. So in corpus linguistics, parts of speech tagging, also called grammatical tagging, it is a process of marking up a word in a text corresponding to a particular part of speech. So you give a text, you give a sentence, and now parts of speech tagging will be able to tell you which is a verb, which is a noun, which is a number. So that's what it does. It's just harder than obviously just having a list of words, because if you consider this example, Fed raises interest by 0.5%. Now, fed could be a noun, and fed is also kind of verb, right? Feed, fed. So, what do you mean here? What is the context? That is kind of difficult to understand. So, parts of this tagging you can do, but still it's difficult given the variety in English grammar or any other grammar. We'll go through the examples post we go through the queries. Now, there's another method called parsing. So, parsing is defined as the process of assigning structural description to the sequence of word in natural language. So, if you look at this example, John hit the ball. So, it starts from the sentence, and then John is a noun. Now it goes to the right side of the tree, then verb phrase, then verb is hit, then noun phrase the ball, then D and N. N is noun, that is ball. D is determiner here. So it is used to find say named entity recognition. So if you we were building an application wherein you say I'm looking for a 2-bedroom house in Koramangala. Now how would I know that Koramangala is the location that user is telling me? So if you do the parsing, you'll come to know that this is a noun, maybe the prospective location that user is telling me, right? We'll give you more example of that. So that's why it's useful in information extraction and semantic analysis. That also we'll do in code. Okay, so speech recognition. I mean, how many of you have heard of Siri? Yeah, you have used, right? I don't know what it's like in Google or Android. Okay, so that's what that does the speech recognition, tries to understand your intent and then tries to give you an answer. So the problem is variation in pronunciation and homonyms. Obviously, like people in South India may speak a different accent than people in North India or people in India other than people in the United States, right? So if you look at this sentence, the boy eats. So it's easier to understand in bigram model. Say the boy eats. Now the boy on the hill by the lake in the town eats, right? So it's kind of n-gram example. So that is always difficult to understand. Now machine translation. Obviously, I mean, you might have used Google Translate. So that is same as machine translation. NLTK had machine translation, but they were using there was something developed by Yahoo called Babel Lies. So, but that is deprecated now. They are not. They have deprecated from NLTK 3 version, I think. Yeah.
In the previous slide, you mentioned about bigram and trigram.
Yeah.
So, can you explain what?
Yeah. So bigram are like say two words that appear together always. Say the boy eats. So the boy is the first word, and eats is the second. So if I say the bigram of this sentence will be the boy on the hill.
2 words.
Two words. Trigram is 3 words. Like that, n-gram you can have. Unigram is 1 word. Yeah. So translate the source language in underlying meaning, representation, or interlingua. This is interesting because different language have similar words but not the same meaning, right? Say a dog in Hindi is what? A dog like kutta, right? But a dog in Kannada is nai, I think, right?
Yes.
A nai in Hindi is a barbar. Right? Same word, different meaning, right? I think money is called Hana in Kannada, right? Hana also you say. There's a database called HANADB, that is we call HANADB. That's an in-memory database called HANADB, I think by IBM or something. So when these words appear in the text, it becomes kind of difficult for computer to understand which one you meant. Right? Basically, when you go to Google Translate, it tries to understand which language also you are writing. Right? So it will get confused if you write nai or you meant in Kannada and you are writing Hindi. Yeah. So there is another method called stemming. It's the process of reducing inflected words to their stem. So most of the search engine, what they do is they assume all the words to their stem, like crying is assumed as cry, going is as go. So the process of removing the ing thing is called stemming here. The stem need not be identical to the morphological root of the word. So the root word that is like say for say multiplying, right? So multiplying, if you do the stemming for multiplying, you may not get multiply correctly, right? So that's what says it need not be identical to the morphological root of the word. Many search engines treat the words as with same stem as synonyms as a kind of query, broadening a process called conflation. That's what I explained to you. Should we move ahead? Okay. So you all have installed NLTK? All of you? Anybody who's not installed? So you guys can install now. Like, we'll give you 5 minutes to install it because from now onwards we'll be doing more of coding thing. So maybe I think the Windows guy might be having the issues installing, right? So just go to this link to install pip on Windows. Go to this link. This will load here. Do a Control S. Still loading for me. We'll just spend 5 minutes to install NLTK. It's quite doable on Windows as well, so be on your national OS and you should be good. Yeah, so when you do Control S, it will give an option to save. Just save that file. Go to your command prompt in Windows.
So can I go back?
Yeah, sure.
What?
This one? That file. You have this link in the document that has been shared to you to install the prerequisites. Yeah, save the file, do a Control S, save the file, remember the location or just copy the location, go to your command prompt, navigate to the directory where the file is. I'm talking on Windows. Ubuntu, you can do apt get install pip, Python pip should be enough. Yes. Apt get install. I think this command would install pip directly on Ubuntu. Yeah, sudo you should do this obviously. Done? Installed? Okay. So if you do write pip and hit enter, it gives you a list of options, right? Okay. Now you need to install NLTK. So pip install -u NLTK. -u NLTK. This will install NLTK in your system that we will be using for the course. What do you in the command prompt itself? This command pip install -u NLTK. So anybody knows what does -u means? No? -u is like NLTK has dependency of numpy and scipy. So -u will install all the dependencies of the parent library that you are trying to install. And if you have installed NLTK, then pip install IPython. I strongly recommend IPython, and because whatever code that you have done so far in Python, that's good for on the Python interpreter. But in order to increase the speed of coding or more of it, I'll tell you, IPython is strongly recommended. Once you start using it, I bet you won't go back to the original Python interpreter. Done? Anybody having a problem? Ask please. Yeah, tell me. Windows. Did you save the file? Did you save this file? Go to this link, Control S, save this file on your local system. Go to command prompt, navigate to the directory where the file is, then Python space filename.py, that is get-pip.py. Everybody has installed IPython, right? Okay. Yeah.
NLTK says
Not able to?
not from the version that satisfies getting an NLTK.
Which command you are running?
Pip install minus
Yeah. Can you try apt get installed NLTK? Should be there. Should be moved. Done. So if you go to your command prompt, whether in Windows, Ubuntu or Mac or anything, go to your command prompt, IPython, hit enter. This is like an original Python interpreter itself, but it has more than what Python provides. So we'll see what is that. So IPython also has called notebook that has been renamed like Jupyter Notebook. So IPython that is notebook. So what this does is this will open a browser for you, and you can execute all your command in the browser itself. That is like more, I stands for interactive. That is more interactive way of doing the Python coding. Mainly data scientists and those doing the data science, they use more of IPython notebook. You can plot a chart here, you can do all kind of stuff. You can even write JavaScript to modify it. So you guys can use IPython interpreter here, no problem. First thing to do is, import NLTK. NLTK.download. This will open up a kind of dialog box.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Can you tell once again what you type in
Windows. You installed pip.
Yeah, I saved it.
Save. Then go to the files in command prompt. Python space filename.py. Whatever file name is. Just need to compile that file, and that will install the pip. I assume you have already installed Python in the system. Yeah. Yeah. So once you do that, NLTK, import NLTK, then NLTK.download. So you'll get this pop-up kind of box wherein you have all the corpora, models, packages that NLTK provides. That's why NLTK is popular. It gives you algorithms in itself, and then the corpora as well. So we would need a lot of corpora that we are using in the program. So you can install this one, book, click on book, and then click on install or download, whichever you are getting.
What is this called?
Corpora is like data sets.
Can you show me?
Yeah, import NLTK and then NLTK.download. Just be on your IPython interpreter, and we'll be doing everything here. Done? What is it?
Error with downloading this file.
You got the pop-up? No? Okay. Sure, let others try. I'm not sure if this is related. Click on book and you'll get some download or install button. Yeah, download. And remember this location. You'll have some different location than me. So we would need that. This is the location where all the data will be downloaded.
Can we change this? We can change.
I think you can. I've never tried. Done?
After exporting NLTK, what should I do?
Excuse me, sir.
NLTK.download.
After we get that NLTK.download, we are getting some NLTK downloaders where there's a list of stuff like download, list, update, config, help.
Okay, you are not getting that GUI. You are doing on IPython?
We are using our device.
IPython? Okay. Even IPython notebook is also showing me. I think you can choose download Corpora. You might be getting ABC like things.
Yes, sir. See, we are getting like that.
So what are the options?
Download, list, update, config, help, and quit.
List. Do the listing and then choose whichever you have to download. So you may get book there. Done?
It's showing errors.
What error?
They gave some P and some options. The list is there.
Did you do pip install -u NLTK, right? Yeah.
When I type import NLTK, it tells no module name.
You have not installed them. Not installed. If you are doing list, you are getting errors.
Download it says status is out of date. Listing
I think ideally you should get this pop-up here. Fish, I don't know why you're not getting.
How many files?
Download once because get an error with download. Click on download. Get an error stating error with downloaded zip file.
Download the zip file. So maybe I think that's downloading a zip file, but like you can extract that somewhere at that location. Remember that location. That should do.
Give this ID, the server index.
No, that will be like by default. That is a.
In the window which the pop-up which is coming, there is nothing like no server index, no download. In Ubuntu,
No, nobody's getting in Ubuntu. Not working for anybody. Who has successfully downloaded the book Corpora? In Windows, right?
How many zip files will be there inside? How many zip files will be there inside?
That I'm not sure. You should download all of the book.
Then it says here downloading the zip file.
Yeah, you get ABC and Brown, but ABC opens, but Brown doesn't.
Okay. Can you open Jupyter Notebook? Go to your command prompt and again I don't know if you're working now. Like this. This will open the Jupyter Notebook.
It's giving a parser.
Parser. Maybe something later in there, I'm not sure. Everybody is getting that error? Parse error? Can you bring your laptop? Are you to my intelligent child? I'm not sure if this is related to.
Sir, I've saved it.
No, you don't have to open the file.
It's almost
Just finding the location.
it's in
Should I stop writing?
And you are now
Yeah, please download. Yeah, it's downloaded. Check it and enter.
to type here, sir.
Yeah.
Now,
So pip install -u NLTK. That's what we experienced. They're connected to this Wi-Fi. Can they be able
lot of options.
you have virtual environment installed?
Yeah.
Can you all try in virtual environment? Create a virtual environment and try to install NLTK there. It's working? No. Let me explain. 5 minutes. So but like this, you all have virtual environment installed, right? Virtual env, create a virtual, say this. Virtual environment or virtual box?
Virtual environment.
It's not working? Not sure. Try if this works for you. Create the virtual environment, activate it, and then try to install NLTK there.
What are we supposed to do after that download?
You have downloaded? Yeah, we'll move on to the next. Okay. You got the GUI?
List like this, the GUI. Not in the form of GUI. It's being listed.
So just tell you which component is the GUI depends on a module called TK Inter. So maybe you don't have then it's showing as text on console itself.
So still there's no module.
Take help from many of your friends who are installed on Windows. Okay.
That is NLTK downloaded.
So now we'll go through the examples, and like I have my sessions in like two, split it into two. So during the lunch hour or the break, I'll help you. Okay. So we'll go into some code, and we'll see how we can do the parts of speech tagging in NLTK. So those who have installed, not facing any issue. So NLTK provides a method called POS tag. From NLTK, POS underscore tag is like you're importing that method from that class or module that is there. So say you have a sentence, I am attending a workshop on Python at IISc, Bangalore. Now NLTK also provides a method called word tokenize. Okay. What word tokenize will do is you pass the sentence, it will do the segmentation, like it will break the word from the delimiter that you have by space. Now POS tag, pass the word tokenized sentence. See, so this has done the parts of this tagging, like I is preposition phrase, and then verb phrase, and detail the determiner, NN is noun. Like that, if you pass any sentence to the POS tag method, tokenized, that is like a list, then it will do the tag. Sure. Those who are having issues, try installing Tkinter and try to get it. If you have NLTK installed, at least you can do this. There's no dependency on the data, I think, for this particular example. Okay, those who are not having getting the UI NLTK.download within the braces pass all inputs.
There's some lookup error when we're using word underscore token.
So for that,
When we're using word underscore token,
mm-hmm.
there's a lookup error.
Then I think must be some issue with no installation of NLTK. Are you able to import NLTK?
Yeah.
POS tag you're able to import? Done? Not getting anything? Did you import this POS tag and word tokenize? Then write a sentence.
What tokenize sentence?
Yeah, so you're not getting this?
It is showing that
Lookup error.
Yeah, lookup error.
I think the installation is not proper.
English.nickel not proper.
Okay. Do NLTK.download and pass all instance. No? I think the main installation is self is corrupted.
Can you repeat once for Windows? Windows. Can you repeat?
Have you installed pip?
Yes.
Pip install -u capital U NLTK. Capital U.
In the command prompt.
Yeah.
Actually, what did we do for the
For partial tagging. So you are importing the method POS underscore tag that is inbuilt in NLTK. Now you created a sentence, a sentence string. Now you are importing word tokenize. Word tokenize, as I showed you, this will tokenize the sentence. With a, like wherever it gets a space, it will break it, segmented it. Now pass this tokenized words to this method and it will do the tagging for you. Parts of speech tagging. So you get to know which, like I is what. So if you go to this link, so all the symbol and then respective meanings are there. So if you get like NN is now. Yeah. Did you pass all? No, not doing.
Can you just type that somewhere else? What syntax you want to use?
Oh.
But anyway, there's one
If your NLTK is not installed properly, I think it won't let you download the maybe but
Text mode is an error. Error with download
we can try connecting to this Wi-Fi and see if it works. And not sure because I never faced that issue. Even I created a virtual environment and tried downloading it. It download it for me.
After installing the PIP Windows, NLTK is going to
It's installed? No?
The PIP is installed.
Yeah, now you need to install NLTK.
No, it's not being done.
What's the message you're getting?
This says that PIP is not recognized as an internal or external command.
No, you have to
Multiple
enter it
program
in
or
Python console and then use it. You should not use it in command prompt. Just type in Python. So get into the interpreter and then you
No. People work on the command prompt itself. Yeah. Have you set the Python environment variable? Alright. So next is parsing. So if you see here you need the corpus actually. From NLTK.corpus import tree bank. That's a corpus which has like multiple methods to parse the grammar that you define. So you would need here the corpora, this location. One second. I'll quickly do one thing. Go to this link, collaborative.com/whatever. I'll paste the code here, so you can copy it from here.
Virtual environment also this also Parsing. Virtual environment also is going Parsing. So I create a virtual environment and then install
You're connected to this Wi-Fi, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure. You tried with my Wi-Fi, right? I thought you tried. Okay. Can you come and try with this internet and see if it works? Because I'm afraid that if it is related to internet. Yeah. So you can go to this link collaborative.com/67h9k and copy this. So I'll go here. Anyways, I'll be sharing you this complete scratchpad that we are doing. So you can always install NLTK and do it yourself. So this will need the resource. This is the location that I have for my corpora. See, so this is printing me the grammar that is defined in that particular corpora. So the location that we gave was the location of the grammar that was defined by NLTK. So the sentence like Wimkin, 61 years old, will join the board as a non-executive director, November 29th. So in NLTK, you need to define your own grammar, be able to parse the sentences. So we'll see that.
Where was the sentence?
Let me find out that is directly available somewhere.
So whatever you're typing, you'll share it as well.
Yeah. That's what.
As in codes and everything.
But I uploaded separately, that is what I installed.
So you have done this, right? Come again.
Should I use a complete path slash users to address?
Yeah, this should be the absolute location from start. Now one, yeah. So I have pasted another piece of code that I'll be executing. This particular piece of code has our own grammar defined. So as you see is a sentence that starting node of the tree. Then this is called production actually. So the left hand side and right hand side. So left hand side is called non-terminal and right hand side is called terminal. So it can start, the sentence can start with a noun phrase or a verb phrase. Now again, verb phrase can be a verb or noun phrase or a verb or preposition like that. A noun can be a cat, dog, rug. Verb can be chased, sat. Preposition can be in and out. And we can see how we can execute this grammar. I'll be sharing this IISc with all you. Yeah. So this is the grammar. Now this piece of code, there's a algorithm called recursive descent parser. That is a top-down parsing approach. Sentence is the cat chased the dog. Now if you parse it, based on the grammar that you defined above, this grammar is trying to parse this sentence based on that grammar. Sentence starting from S, then a noun phrase, that's what you define. A sentence can start from a noun phrase and then verb phrase. This is a noun phrase, the cat. Now noun phrase can be the noun, right? This the noun, a noun and preposition, the noun and then preposition. So First one is the noun phrase, and then complete second one is the verb phrase. Verb phrase can be, according to the grammar, verb or noun phrase. So if you go inside BP, you'll get this.